I'm excited to be here to tell you about some of the things we've been doing with education in the Medical Education Committee. We've done a lot with MEC, partly because we used to be a committee that focused a lot on CMEs and preparing our members for maintenance of certification, which is everybody's favorite topic. But what we realize with what's happening with BOLD, we need to sort of steer away from that a bit and really think about how we're going to provide professional growth for our members. So with that said, what I'm going to review with you today, some of the things that we've been doing, because MEC is really going in a really bit of a different direction than we've been in the past. So in all of the BOLD meetings, virtual town halls, and what have you, what we recognize is that we need to help our members and physiatrists in general be better leaders. So we'll talk about some of those initiatives. Michelle talked about some of the workforce limitations. There are about 12,000 of us or so. But we're so diverse, there just simply aren't enough physiatrists to really meet the needs, not only of what we're talking about with BOLD, but to really meet the needs of all the patients who really need our services. And we also recognize that with all of the changes that are occurring in healthcare, have we done a good enough job of preparing our trainees to face all of the things that they're going to need to be doing, not only to achieve BOLD, but really be successful in their practices going forward. So let's start with this. So one of the things that Michelle alluded to earlier today is leadership. So in order for us to really advance PM&R BOLD, we need to be strong leaders, advocate for ourselves, advocate for our field, not only locally but also nationally. So we want to help develop leadership in general among members and among physiatrists. So we have a lot of different ways we're going to do that because people learn differently and people have different interests in doing this. So one of the things that are available are online modules. So we developed this with the American Academy of Physician Leaders. We're going to refer to that as APPLE, not just because I'm from the Big Apple, because that's what we'll call it. These are different topics that you can purchase on the Me site and get some credits for that and really learn some leadership skills. In addition to that, what we are really excited about, and I'll explain it a little bit more on the next slide, is our program that we developed with Kellogg, part of Northwestern University. It's a business and administration program, which is really a much more intense program to help develop leadership skills in a somewhat small cohort of interested participants. Only 40 folks are going to be involved with this. I'll give a little bit more information on the next slide. But in addition to this very intense program, it's 2 weekends next spring and next summer. You can, if you finish that program, there'll very likely be 2 additional programs that you can participate in to get some certificates in either general PM&R leadership or a certificate in medical directorship. So those are still in development, but we're really very excited about this, and it's a great program. We are also continuing our AAPM&R Future Leaders program. Just last night, we graduated, if you will, our second cohort of 12 junior leaders who participated in a 2-year sort of mentorship program, being involved in many of the leadership activities of the Academy. We inaugurated our third cohort of, I think it's 12 participants. These are folks who are going to be the future leaders of our field in the Academy. It's been a great program, and I know we're going to continue to do this, and good things are going to come out of that. And of course, at every AA, every annual assembly, we're going to have continued courses, seminars, symposium, what have you, on leadership. So there are lots of different ways that we are providing our members opportunities to learn leadership skills, and we're very excited about that. A little bit more about the Leadership Institute. This is a little bit of an advertisement, but spots are limited. There are only 40 participants that we are going to enroll in this. Again, 2 very intense weekend courses in the spring and summer of next year. These are the topics that you can see that are going to be discussed at these sessions. There'll be homework assignments and what have you. This is going to be led by 2 very strong leaders among us, Bill Adair and Kathy Bell. We're very excited about this, and I think this is going to be a great program, and if it's successful, very likely will continue. We've talked also about the issue that there are 12,000 of us. It's not enough. Clearly, in order to reach the goals of PM&R BOLD, we need some help. And one of the ways in which that can happen is through strategic use of APPs, or advanced practice providers. Physiatrists are leaders of the team, and we anticipate that we can include them, just like we include other members of our team, to advance our goals. But just like in medical school, where you learn almost nothing about PM&R, the same is true about APPs. And although many physiatrists want to use APPs, a lot of them simply don't know how to most effectively use them. So we have developed online modules that are available for physiatrists to learn how to effectively and efficiently use APPs in their practice to help them reach their own goals, personally and professionally, and for also APPs to learn the basics of PM&R so that it's easier for physiatrists to use them effectively in advancing their practices. So that basic 101, we also anticipate, since many of us are specialized in different areas, that we will continue to develop modules to help provide additional education that's a little bit more advanced to help them serve the field and physiatry. Next year's annual assembly, which is in San Diego, and I hope to see everybody there, the theme will be team. So we will be offering discounts to APPs who register as part of a physiatric team to attend that annual assembly. We're excited about that. There'll be some content that's dedicated for APPs in order, again, to help us do what we need to do to reach our goals, as well as some select team skills lab and what have you. So we're excited about that. And one of the things that we've recognized in all of the work that the Academy is doing, and particularly through BOLD, is that we are changing. The healthcare world is changing, PM&R is changing, but have we really kept up with the training needs of our residents as they go into the real world? Are we really preparing them the way we need to? We've recognized, as has some of our sister organizations, that we probably need to do a better job. So we have engaged in a tri-organizational initiative with the AAP and the American Board of PM&R to reestablish some core training needs that cut across everything we need to know as a physiatrist into the future. But in addition to that, because the Academy is very aspirational, we're also developing highly specialized, comprehensive specialized curricula that outline competencies in very specific areas. Right now, we're working on musculoskeletal care. Cancer rehabilitation is next. And you can imagine that this is a very comprehensive, time-consuming process, but we feel it's important because we really want to move our field forward. This just sort of gives a bubble diagram. So, the core knowledge of physiatrists there in the middle with some specialty areas around them. These are not the only specialty areas we recognize, but just to sort of put it into a diagram for you. So the goal here is not to create a new requirement, sort of an unfunded mandate, but we really want to set aspirational goals for what training in physiatry is about, both in residency and in fellowship training. Then we can identify the gaps that exist in our current training programs and then work with programs, use the Academy and all of our resources to help fill those gaps. And again, so we're really very excited about this. This is just a few of the initiatives that make us participating in, but more to follow. Come back next year and find more.